is up, everybody? What is up? It's one of those special days, man. It's one of those special days where we are going live twice. Special day, special day. Let's let the Discord know. Uh, let's go ahead and get comments pulled up on my end. Let's do all that good stuff. All that good stuff. It is one of those special days. Twice today. All right, let's see here. Let's see who we gonna get in chat first. Who's gonna be first today? Sanchez, what's up, dude? PJK, what is up? Welcome, guys. Some familiar faces in here already. Wonder Bros, Sanchez, what is good, man? What is good? What's up, Mike? What's up, Mike? We're repping the Tupac shirt today. We're repping the Tupac shirt today. So special day, man. Special day. We're having one of those two a days. We're having one of those two a days, man. I was reading the Discord. You guys know. Travis says I'm first again. Yay. Not even close. Not even close, but close enough. Close enough for a at least for a participation clap. So there you go. So I was reading the Discord, right? You guys know that I tend to get inspired. I tend to get inspired by the Discord chat. I tend to read through the comments and see what people are talking about. What are some of the common questions? What are some things that people tend to want to talk about? What are some things that people are curious about? So I get a lot of inspiration from the Discord chat, and although this stream that you're watching now wasn't entirely inspired by the Discord chat, it kind of sort of was in a way. But today we are going to be talking about your two different states, right? Your two different states, the anxious you and the real you. You can call it the sensitized you, right? You can call it the sensitized you and the real you. You can call it the sensitized you and the non-sensitized you, right? Whatever you want to call it. But we're going to be talking about your two different states. And the reason that this is important is because the big problem, right? The big problem behind all this, the reason that people fall into this cycle and tend to stay in this cycle longer than need be, is because they don't realize that they're being bluffed. They don't realize, right? They don't realize that they're in a different state of mind right now. They don't realize that, maybe they do realize it, but they're not fully accepting that the reason all of this crap is going on is because of the state that they're in. So when they're in that state, they're completely lost in that state. Do you hear what I said there? When they're in that state, they're completely lost in that state. So they're trying to do a lot of mental blah blah, a lot of thinking, a lot of worrying about the thoughts that they're having, the feelings that they're having. They're trying to think their way out of this temporary state that they're in, and they're just gassing the fire, right? They're just gassing the fire. That's all you're accomplishing at the end of the day. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Really important, okay? Really important when you are in these temporary states. And if you're in recovery, you're going to have some ups and downs. So you might enter into this state and then be good for a little while and enter into this state. This is what people commonly refer to as the ups and downs of recovery. But at the end of the day, the main topic today is really important that you realize when you're in this state so that you can have the correct attitude, the correct perspective, right? Because again, a lot of people, when they are in that state, they're completely lost in it and they're trying to think their way out of it. They're not even acknowledging the fact, really that they're in that state. They're just trying to think from that state, and they're just running in circle after circle after circle. So we really need to get grounded, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Go like the live, guys. Yes, yes, please, please make sure to toss me a quick like. It really does help the channel grow, and I would really, really appreciate it. Travis wants us to accept that he was first in chat on Obsession, please. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that today. Understanding the two different states and how they work, understanding the tricks of the anxiety state, understanding the trick of the sensitized state, accepting when you are in that state, right, and then working with it rather than against it. We're going to be talking about all that good stuff today. All of your burning questions will be answered. We're going to have a good one today. We're gonna have a good one today. We'll give it another minute. Let some people get in here and want to join us live because this is gonna be a good one. So I don't want anybody to miss out that wants to join us. Let's go over to the support chat in the Discord and let them know too, just in case anybody missed that. Drop some notifications. I can't spell today. Can't spell today. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. What time is it? So this is definitely one of our afternoon streams. So I don't even know what time it is. It's about 3:30 p.m. for me. So this one will probably be a pretty popular one once some time goes by. Here we get those notifications sent out. All right, let's see. How long have we been waiting so far? About 5 minutes. I say we go ahead and get the ball rolling. Your two different states, right? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Your two different states, the anxious you and the real you. Now, I want to make some comparisons here. First things first, I want to make some comparisons between these two states so that you guys can relate a little bit more with what I'm trying to say, right? So let's start with the real you. What is the real you? What do I mean? What am I referring to when I say the real you? The real you is the calm you. The real you is the non-sensitized you. The real you is the you that is not in a sensitized nervous system. The real you is what some people call feeling normal, right? Why do some people call that feeling normal? Because when you are the real you, right, you're not freaking out, having all these negative intrusive thoughts. You're not looking at things in a very negative, predominantly negative way. You feel normal, and that's why people call it feeling normal. So this is what people are referring to when they say the real you. It's what I'm referring to when I say the real you. The sensitized you. Oh boy. Let's crack this one open here. The sensitized you and some things that you need to be aware of. When you are the sensitized you, it is safe to say that your nerves are feeling pretty fragile. It is safe to say that your mind is feeling pretty tired. What comes along with being the sensitized you? What comes along with being the sensitized you? Let's talk about it. When you are the sensitized you, and like I said, if you're in recovery, you might have some ups and downs. Sometimes you're feeling more like the sensitized you. Sometimes you're doing some healing, you heal, whatever. Where do we even begin with the sensitized you? Okay, let's start with thoughts. Let's start with thoughts. When you're in the tired mind and the tired body, you're going to have a lot of negative, intrusive thoughts, obsessive thoughts over things that you normally wouldn't care about. That's a key point there, right? That's a key point there. You're going to have things that you normally wouldn't care about pop into your head and cause an anxious reaction. Okay? Now, all of this, being in the sensitized you, is all a bluff. It's all a bluff because it's not the real you. It is a temporary state, right? So, first and foremost, like I said, you're going to have a ton of negative thoughts that are going to cause a reaction in the body over things that you normally wouldn't care about. Right? So if you are the sensitized you might be having a ton of thoughts about this subject or this intrusive thought or that intrusive thought. Now, if you weren't sensitized, you would probably laugh at that, right? If you weren't sensitized, you could probably have the same thought and think to yourself, well, that's just stupid, and move on with your day. It wouldn't cause such a reaction in the body, right? If you were the quote unquote in the real you, right? But when you are in the sensitized you, you're going to have a ton of these thoughts that seem laughable when you're not there. You're going to have a ton of these thoughts that seem so real in the moment. You're going to have a ton of these thoughts that cause way too much anxiety than they deserve, right? This is all part of being in the sensitized body. This is all a part of being in the sensitized body. So thoughts are big. They're a big thing for a sensitized person. They come in, they make you freak out over things that you normally wouldn't freak out about. They come in, they cause this huge reaction in the body that they normally wouldn't cause a reaction over, right? Big part of being sensitized is the way that this mind works. It sends you these thoughts that you normally wouldn't give a shit about, and they cause a lot of anxiety, right? Also, some other things to mention while you're in the sensitized body, you're probably going to be very indecisive. That's a big one that a lot of people notice. You're probably going to be very indecisive. You're no longer the confident person that you thought you weren't, once were. You're going to have a harder time making decisions. Dr. Claire Weeks talks about this. You're going to have a harder time making decisions on normal, everyday things. It seems like you can't make the right decision to save your life, and every decision that you want to make just seems wrong because your mind is telling you that it is wrong, right? Again, this is a part of being in the sensitized body. The mind is wired to want to save your life right now. The mind is really hyped up right now. So every decision that you make seems to be the wrong one according to your mind. And no matter how much you think it through, no matter how much homework you do, you can't seem to land on a solid decision because the mind is not allowing it, right? So this is another part of being in the sensitized mind and body. So what have we got so far? Very indecisive. Okay, a lot of negative thoughts that come that cause anxiety and normally wouldn't cause anxiety, but it is now because you're in a sensitized body, right? So there's two things right there. Another thing to mention, confidence seems to take a nosedive. All right, you don't feel as confident in the choices that you make. You don't seem confident in the things that you do, right? What's another thing? I mean, we could list being in the sensitized body all day long. I'll try to give you some more of the, some of the more popular ones. What's another thing? Sleep. Sleep tends to take a back seat. You're not sleeping as well because you're really hyped up. You're not sleeping as well because the body's and the mind's really wired, right? What's another thing? Appetite. Appetite was a big one for me. You tend to lose that appetite because your body is currently in a state where it's primed for fight or flee, where it's primed for survival. So you're not that interested, right, in food like you once may have been, right? So appetite, sleep, your confidence seems to take a nosedive. You become pretty indecisive. Your mind is telling you that whatever choice you make seems to be the wrong one. And a big one, thoughts. A lot of thoughts that are causing a lot of anxiety where they normally wouldn't. A lot of thoughts coming in and pretending to be important because they feel important to a sensitized body, right? Now this is what it feels like. This is just a taste of what it feels like to be in a sensitized body. Is there different varying degrees to the sensitized state? Yes, you can be, what we would call severely sensitized. You could be somewhere in the middle. You could have your days, right? And during recovery, you are going to have your days. Some days are easier than others. Some days the nerves are really popping off. Some days they're not. It's almost like a back and forth. One day I feel reasonable, the next day I don't, right? This is a normal part of recovery. On the days that you don't feel reasonable, it's pretty safe to say that you're in the sensitized mind and body, but that's when anxiety is learning the most. So you need to take advantage of those days, right? Now let's go on. The real you. What's the real you feel like? What's the real you really feel like at the end of the day? The real you feels normal. Right now, a lot of people think that recovery is some grand moment with the bells and the whistles, and we roll out the red carpet, and there's a fucking jester, whatever, confetti and shit. Recovery is the real you. Recovery is just feeling quote unquote normal. You're still very much going to be human. You're going to have all your emotions and you're going to be a human being. I hate to break it to you, right? But you're no longer in a sensitized mind and body. So there's the confidence tends to pick back up. You start to make decisions with a little bit more confidence. You start to get your sleep back. You start to get your appetite back. Here's a big one. The thoughts that used to trigger you, now you laugh at them because you're like, why the hell? Right? Why the hell did that thing ever scare me? So as you start to go back into the normal you, the quote unquote real you, these things start to fade away. And you're laughing at the thoughts that once triggered you. We call this the non-sensitized you. So there's two different states. Okay, as far as your nerves are concerned, as far as anxiety is concerned, there's the sensitized state, which of course has varying degrees, right? And then there's just the normal you, the healed you, the not tired you, right? And when we say tired, we mean tired nerves. So two different states. There's always just two different states. And as you're healing, you may notice that you kind of go back and forth between these states a little bit. On the days that you're feeling very anxious, that's good. You need to take advantage of that. Anxiety learns the most while anxiety is turned on, right? But there's these two different states. What do we call recovery? Now that we've covered these two different states, what the sensitized state is, what the real you state is, what do we call recovery? What really is recovery from all of this? Recovery is you've taken advantage of those sensitized days enough that you have taught your brain that there's no real danger. You've taken advantage of taking your foot off the gas, aka all that worry that you add to the thoughts and feelings. You've taken advantage of taking your foot off the gas long enough, and you've done it repeatedly, 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 until you have finally healed those nerves to a point where you can say, hey, I no longer go back and forth. My nerves are very much solid, and I'm back to feeling like the real me again. That's recovery, right? But during that process, you may have some ups and downs. During that process, you may go from the quote unquote sensitized you to the quote unquote real you, what feels like kind of like a tug of war, right? But here's the important thing. Why did we just sit here for the past 15 minutes and discuss what these two different states are? What was the real point besides just for educational value? What was the real point behind this, Wonder Bro? Why we just sat here and discussed the two states? The reason we just sat here and discussed the two states is because next time you're in that sensitized state, right? Whether it's really, really through the roof or it's somewhere in the middle, whatever, doesn't matter. Next time you are in that sensitized state, the reason we just discussed all of this is because I want you to remind yourself this is not the real me. I am currently in the sensitized state. That way it comes as no surprise to you when the nerves pop off over stupid thoughts. That way it comes as no surprise to you when you're indecisive. That way it comes as no surprise to you when you don't sleep as well or you're not as hungry, right? That way it doesn't come as any surprise to you when all of this shit is happening. And if it doesn't come as a surprise to you because you made the effort to ground yourself and say, hey, I'm just in the sensitized state right now. And not saying that in a bad way, but just saying it in, hey, I'm in the sensitized state right now. That's why these thoughts are doing that. That's why I just had a thought about, oh God, I might go crazy, and my body just reacted to that like crazy. It's because I'm in the sensitized state. You see, taking this knowledge and using it makes it to where this shit doesn't come as a surprise to you anymore. And when this stuff doesn't come as a surprise to you anymore, you're better able to accept it and not gas the fire, right? That's why we just sat here for the past 15, 20 minutes and discussed what these two different states were. So the next time that you're in a sensitized state, which like I said, during recovery, ups and downs, back and forth, it happens. Next time you're in a sensitized state, right? A lot of people think you're either sensitized or not sensitized, and I don't really dive too deep in that because I don't like to confuse people. Just know that there's varying degrees of being sensitized, and as you're healing, that's normal, okay? But my main point is, next time you're feeling a certain way that you're feeling, right? You need to ground yourself long enough to remind yourself, I'm sensitized. I must be having a tired nerve day, right? And if you're just starting, that's probably pretty constant. But if you're somewhere in the middle, it's probably up and down. Whatever, that's all irrelevant. The next time your thoughts are popping off, causing all this crazy anxiety, you need to say, oh yeah, this wasn't like this 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, or however long ago. Why? Because I wasn't sensitized then. I must be today. That's okay. I expect it. Right? So the reason we discussed these two states was that this shit won't catch you off guard anymore. The reason we discuss these two states is that next time when you're having these crazy thoughts that are popping off all this anxiety, you can simply ground yourself by reminding yourself, "Oh yeah, I'm a bit sensitized. This is supposed to happen. This is what happens when you're sensitized. Okay, no big deal." Right? Instead of, oh, blah, 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 fight with all the thoughts and feelings, oh, that won't happen because of that and that and that, and then you're just going down the rabbit hole. Why are you going down a rabbit hole when the only reason it's happening to begin with is because you're in a sensitized state? If you weren't in a sensitized state, you wouldn't give a damn, right? So why are you going down the rabbit hole with all these thoughts, trying to figure them out and use compulsions and compulsion and figure it out and figure it out? Why are you going down the rabbit hole with all these thoughts when if you weren't sensitized to begin with, you wouldn't give a damn, right? Why are you going down the rabbit hole with all these thoughts that are causing all this anxiety when you wouldn't go down the rabbit hole normally because if you weren't sensitized, you wouldn't care anyway, right? So the next time you find yourself having all these crazy thoughts and it's causing so much anxiety and you got to step back and you got to say, if I wasn't having a sensitized day here during my recovery, I wouldn't care about this shit. The only reason I care now is because I am sensitized. That's enough. Knowing that's enough. Now you can get on with your day and try to accept these feelings and thoughts to the best of your ability. It is a practice, right? But now that you know that and you've taken a step to remind yourself, okay, I don't need to go down the rabbit hole with all these thoughts and feelings. 2 weeks ago, this didn't matter. 2 months ago, this didn't matter. Yesterday, this didn't matter. Whatever, however long it's been. Why does it matter now? Matters now because I must be having a sensitized day. So that's all it is. I don't need to figure these thoughts out, right? I don't need to get worked up over these feelings. I don't need to get worked up over these thoughts. I'm having a sensitized day. I'm having a moment where I need to retrain. That's all it is. Why should I go down the rabbit hole when this didn't matter 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, 2 days ago, right? Why would any of that matter? It doesn't. It only matters now because you're sensitized. And when you accept that, you start to take the foot off the gas because there's nothing to figure out. Now you've come to a point where there's nothing to figure out and you can just accept it for what it is. Do you see that? The problem with sensitized people is they try to figure it all out, and all that's foot on the gas, worry, 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 worry. You got to say, hey, it's the same as saying, hey, I got a cold. What comes along with a cold? A runny nose. Accept it, right? It's the same concept as saying, hey, I must be having a sensitized day, whatever. What comes along with a sensitized day? A ton of thoughts that cause anxiety that normally wouldn't cause. All these other things we talked about today. Once you just accept it for what it is, you don't have the urge to figure it out anymore. And when you don't have the urge to figure it out anymore, you can leave it alone. And when you leave it alone, you start to heal because you've taken your foot off the gas. All right. Hope everyone enjoyed that little rant. That was a solid one, man. Oof. That was a solid one. We're on fire, baby. I love it. I love it. So stop it. Stop it. Cut it out. Stop trying to figure it all out. You have to accept that when you're having a sensitized day or week or whatever, that these things come with it. And you have to take advantage of it and use it as a chance to practice acceptance. And when you want to get involved with all these crazy thoughts and feelings, just remind yourself that you wouldn't care in the first place if you weren't sensitized. You must just be sensitized, so why does it matter anyway? That's enough to be able to leave it alone. There's nothing for you to do, right? Now get on, live your life, stop fighting with the thoughts and feelings. That is the two main keys. Remember what's happening. That way you're not so tempted to get involved anymore. All right, that was a good one. Let's head on over to the post stream, see what you guys up to today. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did enjoy it, make sure you leave that like. I would appreciate it. Remember, guys, it's always good to ground yourself and just remind yourself, hey, this isn't the real me because 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, whatever, I didn't care about this. Why do I care about it now? Well, because I'm sensitized. So, all right. Well, that's why it's happening. Now that I know why it's happening, I guess I can just leave it alone. I guess I can just leave it alone now that I know why it's happening. There's nothing for me to do. I know why it's happening, so, it's not the real me. I might as well just leave it alone. Just like a runny nose comes along with having a cold. That's all you need to know. That's all the information you need. Now just leave it the heck alone, right? Right. Okay. So during that rant, we had a $10 tip come in from Abraham that said, welcome back, Wonder Pro. It feels good to be back. Can we give a round of applause in the chat for Abraham? Sorry I didn't address that when it happened. I was mid-rant, so you'll have to forgive me on that. But thank you so much for the $10 tip. Abraham, I appreciate you, dude, putting us closer to moving on in our streak. No need to try to find your way, Arlene. No need to try to find your way. You just need to accept that you are sensitized, and along with being sensitized comes all these thoughts that cause a huge amount of anxiety. That's a part of being sensitized. So you're not trying to find a way. You're just trying to accept facts. That's all we're trying to get people to do. We're not trying to get people to come up with this crazy formula. We're just trying to get people to accept the facts. Hey, I'm sensitized, and a part of being sensitized is having a ton of thoughts that are irrational, and they cause a lot of anxiety. Normally, this wouldn't happen to the real me. The only reason it's happening now is because I'm sensitized. Now that I know that, there's nothing for me to do except accept it, right? So people get in trouble when they try to find a way out. People get in trouble when they try to do all this and try to do all that and try, blah, 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 blah. You just need to accept that you're sensitized, and a part of being sensitized is all this crap that comes with it. Just like a runny nose comes along with having a cold. That's all you need to know. We just want you to accept the facts and stop. That's it. We just want you to accept the facts and let it go. We just want you to accept the facts and stop trying to figure it out. We just want you to accept the facts and stop adding the worry. We just want you to accept the facts and stop running in circles because that's what's causing you the stress. Right? Right. Right. Hey, Pert, man, thanks for stopping by, dude. Glad you enjoyed the stream. What's up, Lucy? What is up? Somebody asked, what do I do? What do I do if my girlfriend's cancer was to come back? A lot of negative thinking, a lot of overthinking, right? So it's safe to say you must have some tired nerves. And that's not to say that, quote unquote normal people wouldn't worry about these things or have these sorts of thoughts, but the fact that it's driving you up the absolute wall right now is a good indicator to me that you do have some tired nerves, right? Because this wouldn't drive most people this far up the wall because this is a what if. So, what is my advice to you? Everything that I just ranted about for the past 20 minutes. Accept that you're in a sensitized body, and a part of this, a part of the game that you're playing, a part of being sensitized, comes these what if thoughts that carry way more weight than they would normally carry. You've got to accept that fact and then leave it alone, right? Right? So, my advice to you would be the same advice I just gave everybody else. Let's see what else we got here. I know I've missed a lot of comments. Hey, what's up, Pooty? I didn't see you until late, dude. If you're still here, how you doing, Pooty? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Hey, Wonder Bro, hope all is well with you. Thank you for that, Joseph. Turn the what ifs into so whats. I like that. Turn this into acceptance, man. Accept that a part of being in this state is these things are going to happen. You're going to have crazy what ifs. You're going to be overreactive to thoughts that you normally wouldn't be overreacted to. You've got to accept this thing. You've got to accept the fact that your thoughts are going to run wild. You got to accept the fact that you're going to have thoughts that normally wouldn't bother you, but they're going to bother you. They're going to bother the fuck out of you right now because you're in the sensitized state. That's okay though, because when they come and they do bother the fuck out of you, you can be like, oh yeah, that's a part of being in the sensitized state. Just like if a runny nose came with a cold, you could say, oh yeah, that's part of having a cold, and you move on with your day. That's what all this is. That's what all this boils down to. We can go on and on and on, and we do tend to go on and on and on. But that's what this comes down to at the end of the day. There's a million different ways we can put it. But it's just like saying, okay, I've got a runny nose. That comes with having a cold. Okay, I've had a bunch of crazy negative thoughts that my body's really overreacting to that normally I wouldn't care that much about. That's a part of being sensitized. That's a part of being sensitized, and you just have to accept that. There's nothing you can do about that. But if you accept that, like you would accept a runny nose with a cold, and move on with your day, guess what? You're healing, right? And we've put this in so many different ways over our years here on YouTube. But that's really what it comes down to. That's really what it comes down to. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. What else we got going on in chat? Appreciate the positivity, Arlene. No worries, Wonder Bro. I realize you were mid rant. It's hard to stop me mid rant, man. It's hard to stop me mid rant. Once I get going, it's hard to stop. Absolutely, Arnold. Absolutely. I need this stream so very much. Much gratitude to you. Thank you for watching, Arlene. I appreciate it. I think a tricky mind trap is a fair way to put it, Arnold. If you accept it as being a part of the sensitized state and not take it any further than that, see, taking it further is the problem. Not take it any further than that, realize it's not the real you. You can look back on your past and tell that it's not the real you, right? You're in a state right now. You accept what comes along with being in this state, like you would accept a runny nose to a cold. If you don't take it any further than that and you just leave it there, you're on your way to healing. You're on your way to healing. All right, I think this is a good break in the action to get us some music going. So let's do that. Let's do that, shall we? Wait. Let's try a different playlist today. We've used the same playlist for like the past 4 or 5 streams. So let's use a different one today. There we go. This sounds chill. This sounds chill. So the relief, Arlene, doesn't come from wanting relief. The relief comes from accepting the fact that you're in an extremely sensitized state. The relief comes from accepting, okay, when you have these thoughts, for example, you say, oh yeah, that's a part of being in the sensitized state. When you have a thought that sets you off, you say, oh yeah, that's a part of being in the sensitized state. And you leave it there. You leave it there. You see what we're saying? You leave it there. You don't take it any further than that, because when you start to take it further than that, you start to go down the rabbit hole. And when you go down the rabbit hole, bada bing, bada boom, baby. Oh, we're in for a time now, right? But if you have these thoughts and boom, a bunch of crazy anxiety comes with it, and you say, oh yeah, that's a part of being in the sensitized state, and you leave it there, now we're on the right track. Now we're on the right track. If you have all these crazy symptoms, you say, oh yeah, that's a part of being in the sensitized state, and you leave it there, now we're on the right track. You see? You see, now we're on the right track. But what the problem is, all these symptoms come with being in the sensitized state. All these thoughts that normally wouldn't scare you, start to cause way too much anxiety. And instead of saying, oh yeah, that's just a part of being in the sensitized state and leaving it there, what do most people do, especially before they know about acceptance? They go, oh my God. Blah 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 blah, on and on and on, broken record, right? And what does this do? It taxes the nervous system. So if you can get to a point where you accept that these symptoms and these thoughts and the crazy amount of anxiety that these thoughts are bringing that they normally wouldn't bring, if you can just remind yourself in the moment, oh yeah, that's a part of being in the sensitized state, and leave it the hell there, and move on with your day, now we're on the right track. Now we're on the right track. Now we're on the right track. We've called it a million different things since we've been streaming. We've called it just say fuck it. We've called it say it is what it is. We've called it embrace it, acceptance, the aggressive, whatever. We've called it a million different things, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the same thing, which is leave it the hell alone. And a good way to leave it the hell alone is to remind yourself, oh yeah, when you get that thought that causes that ton of anxiety, it normally wouldn't. Oh yeah, that's a part of being in the sensitized state. Okay, now I know why that's happening. And leave it there. And leave it there. And leave it there. Rinse and repeat and leave it there. Rinse and repeat and leave it there. Instead of sticking your hand in the pot, you're not needed. I hate to tell you, sorry to break it to you, your body and mind does not need you to heal, and the fact that you keep butting in and butting in and butting in and butting in with all the thinking is the reason they can't catch a break. Because you keep setting it off, right? But if you would just accept all these crazy things that are coming to you, if you just accept that that's part of being in the sensitized state and do your best to move on with your day, and you rinse and repeat this, right? Instead of getting so involved, you will heal. You will heal. Just like you would accept that a runny nose is a part of having a cold. Just like you would accept that some pain in your arm is a part of having a broken arm, right? Right? Just like you would accept having a stuffy nose is a part of having allergies. Right? Right? Just like you would accept eating some bad food, okay, now I've got a stomach ache. Right? Just like you would accept that when you don't put gas in your car, it doesn't run. Right? Just like you would accept that in-laws are crazy. You just accept the facts. You just accept the facts. Nobody wants to accept the fact of being sensitized. You have to accept the fact of being sensitized. And what does that mean? When you accept the fact of being sensitized, you accept that all these symptoms are a part of it. You accept that your thoughts are going to be off the rails. You accept that these thoughts are going to cause anxiety that they normally wouldn't cause. You accept that and you leave it there. If your car is out of gas, you accept that the car is not going to run. You don't sit in it and turn the key all day. Right? You leave it there. We have to accept the facts. And when you accept the facts, instead of getting so involved, now you're starting to heal because you're no longer throwing wood on this fire. Right? You're no longer taxing the nervous system. So the next time you experience a thought that causes a ton of anxiety, right? You got to say to yourself, oh yeah, that's a part of being in this state. You got to accept the facts and stop taking it any further than that. And taking it any further than that. Right? This is not the real me. Right? You see what we're doing here? We're slowly taking our foot off the gas. Slowly taking our foot off the gas by accepting the facts. Let's see here. Except for DPDR, but I'm getting there. Keep going, Sam. You're making progress. You really are. You really, really are. Let's see. You're doing great, Pooty, man. You have for some time now, dude. You should be proud of yourself. You really should. You really, really should. Hey, what's up, Mint? How you doing? How you doing, Mint? We are live again. We're having one of those rare occasions where we do 2 a day. And I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it because it was a nice little rant. It's a nice little rant. Hey, time is irrelevant. It can be 150 years, right? But the moment you start to accept it for what it is instead of trying to figure it out, right? So when these things happen, when they come on, when these symptoms come on, when these thoughts come on, they're causing more anxiety than they normally would. It can be 150 years of the bad habit. But the moment you remind yourself that you accept the facts that this is a part of being in the sensitized state, instead of taking it any further than that, that's the moment you're starting to do something. That's the moment you're starting to head in the right direction. Hey, that's awesome, Mint. Keep it up. What's up, Street Fighter? Craig? That's all this journey is, guys. If you accept it like you would accept a runny nose comes along with a cold, if you accept all these things that are happening that comes along with being sensitized and just leave it at that, don't take it any further, don't try to figure anything out, don't go there with all the rabbit holes. If you would accept sensitization and the symptoms that come with it as a part of being sensitized, just like you would a runny nose comes with a cold, and leave it there, your body would take care of the rest. Your body would take care of the rest. How do you deal with people who are on a different level of thinking as you when you are trying to cut out all the bullshit and they keep feeding it themselves. Realize that they're on the bullshit and accept that as a part of someone being on their bullshit. Right? Do you see what we're doing here? You see what we're getting at, guys? We gotta accept things. We gotta accept things. We gotta accept that, okay, people that are on their bullshit are gonna be on their bullshit. We gotta accept that when you have a cold, you got a runny nose. We gotta accept that when you're sensitized, you're gonna have thoughts that cause way more anxiety than they deserve. You gotta accept that when your car's out of gas, it doesn't run, right? And we got to leave it there. So that's a perfect example, Kate. You could get up in your head, oh, I need to do this and this, and maybe I can do this and this and this and blah 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 blah. Really stress yourself out, or you can say, huh? Or, or, I could accept that people that are on bullshit are on some bullshit, and leave it there. Holy shit! Who would have thought? Who would have thought that we could live life that way? And let me tell you, it's a beautiful way to live life. It's a beautiful way to live life, to leave it there. Hey, you accept that it's part of being in the sensitized state, Arnold. You accept that there's indecision. You accept that you're going to have thoughts. You accept that, thoughts are going to cause more anxiety than they normally would. You accept it, and you leave it there. You accept it and you leave it there as a part of being in the cycle. See, that's the whole problem. That's why people find themselves in this cycle, and that's why people find themselves constantly fueling the fire. Constantly fueling the fire. Because instead of saying, okay, I had this thought set off a ton of anxiety, that wouldn't have happened 2 months ago when I was feeling well, or 2 years ago, or 150 years ago, I don't give a shit. But that wouldn't have happened when I was feeling normal, so why is that thought causing all of this extra anxiety now? It's causing all of this extra anxiety now because I'm in the sensitized state. Okay, leave it there. Why do you take it any further than that? The fact that you take it further than that leads to rabbit hole after rabbit hole, after stress, after stress, after stress, mental drawing board, mental drawing board, mental drawing board. I don't give a shit about time frames, right? The moment you decide that you're going to accept these symptoms as a part of being in the sensitized state and leave it there, so the next time you're chilling and you have a thought that causes way more anxiety than it deserves, and you say, oh yeah, that's a part of being in the sensitized state, and you leave it there, the moment you decide to do that, whether it's been 150 years, 2,000 years, or 2 days, right, you're making progress now. You're making progress now. You see? You see what we're getting at? That's the reason people get so caught up in the state, because they don't leave it there. The symptoms come on so strong that they don't leave it there. The thought comes and it brings so much anxiety with you, you don't leave it there, right? But you got to get to a point where you can accept the fact that, hey, when I'm sensitized, man, this shit's going to happen. This shit's going to happen. And leave it there. And leave it there, right? Gotta leave it there. Gotta leave it there. Gotta leave it there. Just remind yourself, Kate, if you're dealing with a difficult person, you said it yourself the best. You already said it yourself the best. He's on some bullshit. Right? So in the moment, in your mind, you might want to take it further. Oh God, why doesn't he shut up? Why doesn't he stop? You know, what can I do to make him stop? And he never stops. He's always doing this, and you're going on and on in your head. Just come back to the fact that, hey, you know, he's on some bullshit. This is a part of being on some bullshit. And leave it there. Right? We got to start leaving things where they are and accepting things for what they are, right? Reminders are good, man. Reminders just point you in the right direction to leave it alone. That's what a reminder does. It points you in the right direction to leave it alone and accept that a part of being in this state is that these things are going to happen. Right? But you accept it as part of being in the state and you don't take it any further than that. Taking it any further than that, that's when people get wrapped up in all this obsession. Not good for the nerves, not good for the nerves. Great stream, Wonder Bro. I appreciate that, Edward. Thank you, dude. What's up, Andy? I'm starting to lose my voice. I mean, and that is a really good example, you know, using somebody that's on some bullshit, right? That's a really good example. If somebody's on some bullshit and they're stressing you out, they won't shut the fuck up, right? You've got two choices. If you can't necessarily remove yourself from the situation, which in that situation, you know, if you could, go for it. But if you can't necessarily remove yourself from the situation, you've got two choices. Mentally, you can get involved and start to go down the route of, oh, you know, what can I do to make them stop? And then this never stops. They're always doing this, and then yada yada yada. Or you can just say, hey, you know what? This is a part of someone being on their bullshit, right? And leave it there. And leave it there. Now I have everything, except the fact that you do have everything, except the fact that that's a part of being in this state, and leave it there, right? Instead of getting up in your head and oh, blah, 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 blah. Right? Just remind yourself that that's a part of being in this state. Accept it for what it is and leave it there. Leave it there. Just leave it there. Just leave it there. Leave it there. Just please leave it there, because that's where it needs to be left. There's nothing to figure out. There's nothing to figure out. If you've got a runny nose because you have a cold, you know it's because you have a cold, leave it there. You don't go trying to figure it out any further than that. You accept it as a part of having a cold. You wake up from a nap and are filled with anxiety symptoms and have thoughts that are causing a bunch of anxiety. You accept it as being a part of the sensitized state and leave it there. And leave it there. Leave it there. Leave it there. Huh? I'd like to have Terry on first, Arnold. But Terry's been very busy here recently. It gets frustrating because my mind used to be on this level and not. I'm changing, and I'm like, bro, stop your thinking is all wrong. No, I understand what you're getting at. Some frustration because you've grown as a person, and maybe said person has not grown as a person, and that might be frustrating for you because you're like, wow, I wish you seen everything that you're doing wrong here. Right? But you got to understand that you have to accept that. You have to accept that that's a part of somebody not being on your level. Right? That comes with that. You have to accept that that's a part of somebody being on some bullshit. Right? And we leave it there. We just have to leave it there at the facts. Because you know the alternative. The alternative is, oh, so much obsession that it's ridiculous. Once you get desensitized, you begin reacting less anxious towards things that used to give you major anxiety. Yes, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. No such thing as a stupid question. Christmas music is really neat, perfect for the stream. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It's chill. It's nice and chill. It balances me out. I might not be super chill because I'm like ranting, but the soft Christmas music in the background balances me out quite well. We complement each other. We complement each other. How'd I know you were talking about your husband without you even saying that you were talking about your husband? Hey, Pooty! Pooty! Round of applause for Pooty in chat, man. Pooty coming through with the $40 tip. That puts us at another tip goal. We hit our tip goal this morning, but we'll just round that up to 58, man. That still counts. 58-day streak, man. Huge shout out in the chat to Abraham Lincoln, my boy, and Pooty. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, thank you. Huge shout out, huge shout out. Also, guys, if you don't mind, toss the stream a like. Let's get this info out to people that need it. I appreciate it. Thank you, Pooty, and thank you, Abraham. You guys are great, man. Thank you, thank you. It really helps, especially this time of year. Thank you so much. Once you're out of this whole shit show of sensitized nerves, can you get sensitized quickly again? Yes, I know, bad question to ask. Yes, because we're worrying a little bit there. But to answer your question, can you get sensitized again quickly? It's up to you. The choice is yours, right? The choice is yours. I mean, if you do a ton of worrying, like I'm talking a ton of worrying, a ton of second fear, and really go through the roof with it, I mean, I guess, but why would you do that? The choice is yours. You see what we're getting at? Really kind of, and I'm not saying, like I said, no question's a bad question, but kind of an irrelevant question when you look at it like that. I mean, the choice is yours, and with what you know now, there's no reason you ever have to go back there, right? Like, that's completely in your control. You can accept when you're sensitized and leave it there, or you can add a ton of worry and a ton of negativity and negativity and negativity. That choice is always yours now. Always your choice now. You can leave what comes along. Oh, shit. That scared the fuck out of me. Scared the fuck out of me. I was gonna say you can leave it there. You can leave it there. Oh my god. Oh my god. Lucy and Sanchez had the same idea. Had the same idea. Well, no, they didn't actually. Sanchez had the idea of taking us to 69, which he did. He took us to 69 with the $19 tip. But Lucy came in right behind him with the $20 tip. It takes us to 89. Holy shit, guys. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate the shit out of that. You guys have no idea. Like I said, especially this time of year, man, and with being unable to stream for nearly a month there, you guys have no freaking idea how much I needed that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Can we get some emotes rolling in the chat, man? Let's spam that chat with the emotes, showing our tippers some love, dude. Show them all some love, man. Pooty, Sanchez, Lucy, Abraham, thank you guys. You guys are amazing. Wonder Bro, Sanchez. All right, I'm gonna finish now. Leave it there. That's the last thing I remember saying. Leave it there. You can always go down the obsessive route, or you can leave it there. You can leave the fact that these thoughts and feelings, this is all a part of the sensitized state. You can leave it there, or you can try to investigate further and deeper, but that's rabbit hole after rabbit hole. You're much better off just accepting it for what it is. Remind yourself what's going on, and just leave it there. Right? That's what I was trying to get out. There we go. That's what I was trying to say there. And then Sanchez and Lucy jump scared me there with the fat Santa. There you go, Pooty. Always cutting out that middle, man. I love it. Hey, seriously though, guys, seriously, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys, really, I do. You have no idea. You have no idea, man. I appreciate it. I don't wanna run anything in the ground, but after being unable to stream for nearly a month and right at Christmas, um, I was hurting. I was hurting. So you guys have no idea how much that means to me. I really do appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. You guys know me, I never really bring that kind of stuff up, but I just want you to know that now more than ever, that shit really does help me out, and I do appreciate it. Oh, you've definitely increased your acceptance knowledge meant tenfold since the first time that I spoke to you. As far as should you continue doing what you're doing with the exposures, you know I always say I leave it up to the person to go at their own pace. However, if you are working on that acceptance, right? If you are working on that acceptance, that is what matters the most. That is the root of everything. If you're able to leave these thoughts and feelings alone for what they are, instead of taking them deeper and investigating, now we're on to some serious work and you're making some serious progress. Now, the pace that you want to go at during this process is going to be up to you, right? But if you're doing the practice, then you're doing the practice and you should be proud of yourself. You should be very proud of yourself. 42 days. Yeah, I know. It's almost like it was out of my control, Maddie. It's almost like it was out of my control. Who would have thought? Maddie, we miss you on the Discord. Don't know where the fuck you went for whatever reason. But we do miss you over there. Just letting you know. We do miss the crap out of you. Oh fuck, she kept count. She probably wrote it down in her dick journal. If I had to guess. What's up, Olivia? Good to see you. Not lies, Maddie. We do miss you. We miss you all the time. We don't know what to do with ourselves without our Discord secretary. Not lies, not lies. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Pooty, and thank you for the tip, dude. That really does help a ton. I appreciate you. Absolutely not, Mint. Absolutely not. If that logic worked there, that would be the same as saying, am I drilling into my brain that I need to exercise more often by watching exercise videos? My fat ass could watch exercise videos 24 hours a day. Believe me when I say my brain would not say, hey, we should exercise. So no, you're not drilling anything in your brain that's going to cause your brain to make you want to do a certain, whatever, gag or whatever the case may be. This is stuff that you have to, you know, you get where I'm going with this. Your twins miss you. Come back. Like I said, man, you're allowed to go at your own pace. I always tell people they're allowed to go at their own pace. Make the best decisions for themselves. But if you're working on those basics, then we're winning. Maddie just abandoned her children on the Discord, man. She said, "Fuck this. I'm going to get milk and I'm never coming back." Why did Maddie leave? I don't know, Maddie. Why did you leave? Have I missed much? Are you finishing up? I don't know if we're finishing up just yet, but yeah, the point of the stream and everything is over. We did go on a bit of a rant today, so you can always watch it back later. Is that your answer to the question of why did you leave? Is your answer Kate? I understand. I understand, Maddie. Kate makes me want to leave the Discord every day. Well, I'll leave it up to you, Maddie, but I'll leave it up to you, but you know, once the stream's over, I mean, you ain't got no way to talk to your kids no more. We're gonna head back to the Discord and hang out, but you're not there, so once the stream's over, I guess we'll just have to forget about you. I don't know, since you don't want to join us anymore, since you're fucking cool now, and we're not cool enough to be your friend, okay? Is that what you want? Then whatever. Why are you all so mean to Kate? Why is that? Why does everybody give Kate shit? Kate literally does nothing. Kate literally does nothing but be kind and sweet to everybody. And everybody just gives her shit. What the fuck? I didn't realize it until somebody pointed it out. Like, Kate literally does nothing to anybody. Olivia says, I'm lost. What's going on? You'd have to be there. The Discord's wild. It's a whole nother world. It's not, but it is. I don't know. It's hard to explain. If you want to see exactly what we're talking about, you can feel free to join us over there. You'll start to get to know everybody as time goes on. I'll drop that link. Totally optional though. A lot of people are under the false belief that the Discord is just a big old anxiety chat 24/7, and it's really not. In fact, most people that are on the Discord don't even really talk about anxiety that much. Hey, what's up, David? I would definitely recommend watching this stream back. We talk about how we accept the symptoms that come along with being in the sensitized state, such as all these thoughts that cause anxiety that they shouldn't be causing, right? Because you know that's not the real you. All these symptoms, how we accept it as being a part of the sensitized state and we leave it there. We don't follow up with all of the obsession. So it was a good one today, and I see that you're joining us late. So feel free to watch it back later when it gets uploaded. Gustavo. Gustavo with his fucking 20 food pics a day. Are you sleepy, Wonder Bro? I'm a little bit sleepy, not bad. Not like I was the other day. I could barely keep my eyes open. Like me, I never talk about anxiety in the Discord. Yeah, yeah, whatever you say. Mickey, what's up? Hey, don't give yourself too much shit, Arnold. I feel like you're making progress. I feel like it's starting to sink in. We might have to jackhammer it in there, but I feel like it's starting to sink in. I really do. I see some difference. He said I will not sell it after like 4 people have already told it. Do you have any viewers on your channel from Japan? Just curious. They break it down. You can go into like the statistics on your channel and see where everybody, like the countries people are watching from. There is viewers in Japan. I don't think they comment though. It's an odd number. Most of my viewers are from America and the UK. That's where a large percentage of my viewers are from. Hello, stranger. Face paint. What's up? Holy shit. What a day. Face paint's here. What is up? I hope you're doing well. It's been a hot minute since we've last spoke. I really hope you're doing good. I see Arnold making progress. I do. I see him slowly starting to leave it alone. I see him, he might get off on a tangent every now and then, but I see him slowly starting to leave it alone. I really do. Like, he might have his moments still, but that's okay. Everybody had their moments or has their moments, right? It's pretty easy, honestly. It's pretty easy to tell, right, who is who, because you can just look at the way that they type. Sadboy says first. You're only an hour and 10 minutes late, but I'll give it to you. I'll give you a participation trophy on that one. Mickey says, "Oh, I remember face paint. Yes, 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 yes. It's been a minute, doing amazing thanks to you. Glad to hear it. That is awesome, dude. Keep it up, man. That's what happens when you accept being sensitized for just what it is and leave it the hell alone. That is what happens. You pop back in months later and say, yeah, been amazing. You talk about me like I'm a pregnant woman. To be fair, anybody and everybody who's ever been sensitized probably feels a lot like that. What are you saying, Mint? I don't think anybody knows what Mint's saying at the moment. She's doing Mint things. Just let her be. Mint's just doing Mint things. I think she's trying to draw in Japanese people. There was another message a little bit up in chat, Maddie. I think she was referring to. Once I really let go, my gosh, things changed. That's what we're still trying to prove to people to this day. It never stops, man. We're trying to crank out recovered individual after recovered individual after recovered individual. We got to keep preaching the good word here, man. Accept sensitization for what it is and everything that comes with it and leave it there. Leave it the hell alone, and you'll make progress. We got to keep fighting the good fight, man. Where are you from in U.S., Wonder Bro? I'm on the East Coast. You're not wrong, Arnold. You're not wrong. Japanese has sounds like kaki kuki kasashi susasi. Gotcha. Gotcha. Now I feel like I can speak it. Perfect chance to get back on board, David. Hey, setbacks happen, dude. They're learning experiences, not bad things. The I need this attitude has changed everything. I think it was Lucy in chat who said the same thing. I think that really the whole I need this attitude that we talked about the other day, which is just one of many ways that we can put the accepting attitude. Leaving it alone is what it really all boils down to at the end of the day. Just one of many ways that we can put that. But I think it was Lucy in chat who said that basically the same thing you said. The I need this stream really spoke to her as well. Oh, it's not a whole lot to see. I live out in the sticks. Good luck with that one, Mint. I wouldn't even know where to begin. I'm doing good, but I struggle with dealing with others' negative energies. I think I'm an empath. Understandable, but understand that also acceptance and leaving things alone as they are instead of getting so obsessed or upset or trying to investigate too much, figure it all out. Understand that this is good life advice, right? This is good life advice, Mickey, not just good anxiety advice, right? So you can apply the tools that you've learned here to your real life situations as well. Acceptance is a beautiful thing. It really, really is. And it applies to many different situations. Many, many different situations. Many different situations. I stopped seeing your videos, and not to be rude, but I didn't notice at first because I'm healed and I used to live by them at one point. No, that's understandable. It's a bittersweet thing. We want people to move on, right? I'm just glad you still pop in from time to time to say hi, but you don't even have to do that. You know, it's a bittersweet thing. We want people to take the advice, learn it, move on. I ain't a fan of city living. Can't say I've ever done it, but I probably wouldn't be either. Min's got some Japanese in the chat for me. Wants me to tell my Japanese viewers to come to the Discord. Okay, I'll give this a shot, but this is gonna sound awful. So you've been warned. Dis dis Diskudo ni kai kudasai. So for all my Japanese viewers out there, I need you to Diskudo Nikai Kasudii. Alright? Alright. Glad we could make that clear. I have no clue what I just said in Japanese. And now I have no clue what to say in Japanese to tell them not to listen to what I just said in Japanese, so fuck it, man. We're going for it. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Arnold. I wish I could make it up to you. Diskudo ni kai kasudai. Diskudo ni kai kasudai. Kiti? Kiti instead of kite. Diskudo ni kiti kasadai. What the hell do you have me doing? What the hell do you have me doing, Mint? Face paint is a perfect example. She kicked ass. How's it going, everyone? What's up, Peter? Peter's a good example too, man. Yeah, I know. When I spoke those words, I had like the impulse to want to do like the little anime girl peace sign at the end. Descura ni que te justo. Mint is probably like chaotic neutral. You know what I mean? Like she's such a sweet person, but she probably does chaotic things. Like that probably just like told all of my Japanese viewers to go fuck themselves, and I don't even know it. And Mint's like over there like he would never expect a thing. Mint's chaotic neutral. I'm convinced. How you been, Chris? Still remember me? Of course, Peter. How could I forget you, dude? We go back, man. We go back. I can never forget you, Peter. If you want to talk about OG, look at Peter, man. He's an OG. I'd like to learn. I'd like to learn Japanese. That'd be cool. No, you can copy and paste it. No, I believe you, man. I believe you. I'm just picking on you. I'm just picking on you, Mints. Just giving you a hard time. That's all. Don't worry about it. We all know, Mint, that you are literally probably the most kind-hearted person in this entire community. Damn right. OG original gangsta, you got it. You all just need to let go and let everything it does get better. I love you and hope you have an amazing Christmas. Just wanted to stop by and say hi. Hey, for real face paint, I'm so glad you're still doing well. Keep it up, right? Congrats on your recovery. Enjoy it, man. Live your life. Live your life. It's bittersweet. It's bittersweet to see these people come and go, but that's what this is all about. I want you to get back out there. So keep enjoying it. Thank you for stopping by. It was good to see you, and I appreciate it.
I need a dollar,
Hey,
that's what I need.
hey, Mickey. Still don't know if I'm saying your name right to this day. I've always called you Mickey, and that's just how it's going to have to be, I guess. Thank you so much for the $11 tip. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. Can we get a huge shout out in the chat to all of our tippers today? Mickey now included. Thank you so much for the $11 tip, which rounds us up to a solid 100, man. I appreciate that. Thank you guys. Like I said, especially this time of year, and with having that month off, that helps me more than you know. So thank you so much, Mickey, for the $11 tip. Lucy, Sanchez, Pooty, thank you guys so much. I hope I didn't leave anybody out. I think I did. Abraham, yes. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Let's give them a round of applause in the chat, man. Let's spam some emotes. I say Michi. I say Mickey. I've just always said Mickey, which I know is not correct. Which I know is not correct. Like I'm fairly certain that's not correct, but I've that's what I've called her for months and months now, so she doesn't seem to have a problem with it. It probably cracks her up every time she hears it. It's our thing. If I ever pronounce any of your names wrong and for some reason you do have a problem with it, I will understand. You just gotta correct me. Just gotta tell me, hey Wonder Bro, I don't like it when you call me that. It's not my name, and I'll say, okay, well then, I won't do that anymore. So, hey, Wonder Bro, I seen one of your vids when you had a stomach bug. Did you get any bad thoughts, or how did you go about it? Um, when you're not sensitized and you get sick, you tend to just focus more on how crappy you feel, and you're like, oh crap, I feel crappy, and I hope I start to feel better soon. When you're not sensitized, right, and you become ill, you're just more focused on wanting to feel better, wanting to get over whatever is physically wrong with you. Does that make sense? If you're sensitized and become ill, then there might be a chance that you have a lot of negative thoughts sent your way that cause anxiety that it normally wouldn't cause. That's a part of being sensitized, right? And if that does happen to you, the same advice applies. Sure, it might be a bit more difficult because you are physically ill, but the same advice applies. Same advice applies. Which might not be a very satisfying answer, but it absolutely still applies. It'll never not apply. It'll never not apply. The obsession, the worry, all of this does nothing. It'll never do anything. If we can leave things alone and accept them for what they are, then we can start to heal. And that advice will always apply regardless of the situation, right? So I know being physically ill might make it a bit tougher, but the same exact advice applies. Does not change. She might be. I hope not. She might be, but I hope not. I don't know, dude. Some people can be weird about that. That's why I said that. You guys ever met anybody like that? Some people can actually be pretty weird about that. About their name, like you mispronounce their name or whatever, and they get all weird about it. I don't know. I've met a few people like that, and I'm just like, it's not that deep, bro. It's not that deep, but apparently this is important to you. So, all right, I guess. I've not met anybody like that on the channel, but yeah. See, there you go. There you go. I've not met like anybody like that on the channel. Mickey loves it. She says, "No, I love the Mickey. It's like Mickey Mouse." Is it? I think that's how I came up with that shit. I think like the first time she ever tipped or something, or I don't know what it was, but for some reason I said, I was like, hey, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Mickey like Mickey Mouse? And we just rolled with it from there. We just rolled with it from there. Hope you're having a good day, Olivia. Mint, you are awesome. Mint is awesome. Everybody loves Mint. Thank you, admins, for removing the spam. I don't know why that's going around these days, but it's coming from multiple different spam accounts. I don't even know what it means. If you see that, just toss that out for me. I appreciate it. And we used to call you Mom, Maddie. We used to call you Mom until you went to go get milk and never came back. So, now we're looking for a new mom. So my name is pronounced. I can't even do it with you breaking it down like that. To be honest with you, but everyone calls me Peter anyway, so I don't mind. I've always called you Peter from day one. I honestly thought that's how you said it. If you would have never said that, I would have never known at all any difference. Not a chance, Arnold. Not a chance can I even try to pronounce that. Maddie says mothers cannot be replaced. Hey, on a serious note, on a very serious note here for a second. I know we joke around a lot, but on a very serious note, if you feel like it's better for you to take a break from the Discord for whatever reason, maybe you get annoyed by the notifications, maybe you find you're spending too much time on your phone, whatever. For whatever reason, if you feel like it's best for you to take a break from the Discord, there's no shame in that. We might miss you, and we might harass you a little bit about how much we miss you. But if you feel like it's best for you, I understand. We understand, right? We understand. Maddie, where did you get the G, girl? Who knows? Who knows where the hell Maddie is getting the G from? I'll tell you where she got it. She pulled it out of her ass. Me G. chi is like saying cheese. McChi. McChi. Am I saying it right? Michi. McChi. Michi. 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 Is that right? Can someone confirm that? Michi. That's what I'm going with. Michi. 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 Ah, it's Michi. Michi. That's such a cool name. That's such a cool name. You guys have such cool names. And I got stuck with Chris. Out of all the names. We got people in here named Michi. Sounds like some badass samurai or something. And my parents pulled me out and said, hey, it looks like a fucking Chris. Thanks. Thanks. Appreciate that. No more Mickey. No, I'm definitely going to still call her Mickey. 100%. But that name is really cool, though. That name is really cool. Michi. Oh yeah, I forgot. My name's Wonder Bro. My name's Wonder Bro. Yeah, you got it. Everybody in chat can tell I'm starting to get tired because I'm starting to give less of a shit. That's how that goes, man. That's how that goes. Start to get more loose. Chris is nice. Chris is nice. Well, technically Chris isn't my name. I guess if you want to be technical, it's Christopher. On paper, I'm a Christopher. My middle name is O'Neill. Nobody ever calls me O'Neill. You know, some people go by their middle name. I've never been called O'Neill. But technically, like I said, on paper, my name is Christopher. I appreciate that, David. Thank you. Maddie's starting to curse. The admins are going to have to step it up. You're going to have to approve like 100 messages. Chris Redfield. Hell yeah, Peter. Christopher isn't Chris. Christopher is Chris, but on paper it's just Christopher. Chris is short for Christopher in some cases. In other cases, your name is just Chris. But on paper, I'm Christopher. No one calls me that. Nobody calls me that. Everybody calls me Chris. Oh, so that's where your Discord name comes from. Now you got it. My Discord name is my middle name because I've never used it on any other profile or any other social or anything like that. And I was like, you know what? My middle name never gets used. I'm going to use it as my Discord name. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Chris is short for Christopher, but some people on paper, their name is just Chris. On paper, my name is Christopher. I'm Catherine. Hello, Catherine. What's up? What's up, Sony? I'm Madeline. Well, Madeline, why'd you leave us on the Discord, Madeline? You little sassy pants. Miguel in Spanish. Miguel. I've always liked that name. How's everyone's day going? We're just chilling, man. It's been a good stream. We're just hanging out now, talking about bullshit at this point. Michi. I still love that name. I love that name. Michi. Why couldn't I have been named something cool like that? So unique. Man, I tell you, this Christmas music's not doing me any favors. Oh, there we go. Okay. That might keep me awake. Yeah, headaches aren't fun. What's your middle name, Wonder Bro? My middle name is O'Neal. You have any plans for Christmas, Wonder Bro? Not necessarily. Probably hang out with some family, the usual. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Pretty average. Hey, Wonder Bro, I want to send a little something for Christmas. Would you prefer PayPal or the Amazon gifts? I appreciate that, Sanchez. You can do it through PayPal if you'd like, and then I can kind of go and whatever it might be, see what's best to kind of spend it on. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that, dude. But I do appreciate the shit out of that. If you'd rather use the list, you can. See, I set up the Amazon wish list for Christmas this year for my family. It's a pretty small list, but I set it up because people's asked me to do that in the past. I never did, but I did this year simply because that month of not being able to stream kind of screwed me over, and I still want to be able to gift people this year. Can't do that though. Can't do that by myself. So I set up that list, right? But the thing about that list is there are different gifts for different people, and I don't want to have a gift for one person and not for another person. And I never thought about that when I made that list. So for example, if 3 things are bought off of it that all go to my mother, then I've got nothing for everybody else. So I've just been trying to be smart with my own money and buy gifts like that too. That way I can make sure everybody's got something. You can use Cash App too, Arnold. I've got Cash App and I've got PayPal. It's funny you say Shaquille O'Neal, Arnold, because that's exactly why my dad gave me the middle name O'Neal. It's funny you say that. My dad was a big basketball fan. Hey, like I said, Sanchez, you do not have to do, you do not have to do that, dude. But I appreciate the hell out of that. You have no idea. I appreciate the hell out of that. It's all good, Arnold. It's all good. Oh, you're good, Arnold. You're good. Don't worry about it, dude. It's definitely never a requirement to be here. That is something that is never required. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and end it here. We've been going on for about an hour and a half now, so we are going to shut it down, man. I'm getting more and more tired. But it's been a great stream. I really appreciate all you guys watching. Make sure you leave a like, all right? I love you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you for everything. And until next time, as always, stay awesome.